Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I put a note in the chat, welcome, and please add your name and affiliation if you would, so we know we're all here who we're talking to. I feel like saying morning to each and every one of you. Glad you're here. I could say, hey, hey, Sarah, hey, Kiffy, hey, Phil, Paul. Woo, what a
Good
great
to see you
group.
again, Kiffy.
No, it's great to
Good to
see
see
all
you
of our
too.
partners in one place.
Yeah, takes all of us too, right? Daryl, hi. It's great when you can sit at home, drink coffee, and be informed and share.
Morning.
I think we have a few more people coming in. We'll give it another minute or two while people are still coming in.
Yep. Virginia.
Okay, if you haven't put your name in the chat, please go ahead. We'll get started in just another, minute or so. We have 37 people. Great turnout.
All right. Ron's here from the MPO. Yay. Hi, Ron. I wish we were in person. I haven't seen a lot of you folks in a while. This summer.
What do you say, 8:33? What do you say, Wendy? I haven't seen anyone come in a minute, so.
Okay. I say let's go.
Okay.
Welcome, everyone, to the Friends of the Lower Appomattox River fifth annual 2023 State of the Trail. I'm Wendy Austin, Executive Director of FOLAR, and I'm really pleased to be here with you, along with, of course, Heather Barrar, FOLAR's Regional Trails Director. We're going to share about the accomplishments of 2022 and our plans for this coming year as we work to continue our efforts to complete the 25-mile Appomattox River Trail as a regional pedestrian bicycle transportation option and part of the local transportation network. And when we're all completed with it, it's going to be an amazing and unique riverside route, creating water access to our state designated scenic river and connecting homes, workplaces, schools, parks, downtowns, and cultural attractions. The Appomattox River Trail and Park System will transform recreation and transportation and catalyze healthy lifestyles and economic strength for our region as well as the Commonwealth. We're also looking forward to learning more from you all today about how this effort can best impact your community. This sharing of information is one of the keys to ensuring that the Appomattox River Trail and Park System is environmentally sustainable, welcoming, safe, and accessible for all. And we thank you all for your partnership and support. As we all know, this work requires many, many partners and people. So again, we're pleased to have you with us. including many of our board members. They help inform and lead the effort that we're going to report on here today, and we're deeply grateful for their service and commitment. I'm especially pleased right now to introduce the chairman of our board, Sam Hayes. Next slide, Sid, please.
Hey, thanks, Wendy. I want to welcome everybody again to our State of the Trail today. I think this is probably fourth or fifth example of this that I've been on that I can recall. And it really excites me every year. It seems like we do more every year. And so this year is no exception. You're going to hear a lot about our accomplishments and looking ahead to the new year. I feel very blessed to be on the board and honored to be the chairman again this year. Many of you know I've worked with the Tri-Cities region for many, many years with transportation, and it really excites me that FOLAR is an awesome example of how we work together as a region with all the localities in the Tri-Cities area. And so, again, there's a lot to share. Our staff here today is going to be sharing a lot of that information with you, and I hope you're, again, as excited as I am. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you, Sam. Thanks for your leadership and those inspiring words. We also have an inspiring video now to kick us off here today, kick off our discussion, and Sid's going to start that. We're really appreciative of Plan RVA and their help through Sid.
Can you guys hear?
No.
Welcome to the Appomattox River Trail.
Oh, there goes.
The Friends of the Lower Appomattox River and partners are developing a 25-mile Blueway and Greenway system located in South Central Virginia. Our river parks and trails flow through the counties of Chesterfield, Dinwiddie, and Prince George, and the cities of Colonial Heights, Hopewell, and Petersburg. The Appomattox River, from the dam at Lake Chesdin to where it meets the James River in Hopewell, is a state-designated scenic river. We are working with partners to protect the land, the views, the history, and the habitat of this amazing resource. Our river has something for everyone. Rapids for those seeking adventure, and tidal flatwater for those seeking peace. We have great fishing, playgrounds, and picnic spots. Check out our web map for all the great places you can visit. Join the Friends of the Lower Appomattox River and help make our vision of connecting nature, people, and vibrant communities a reality. Welcome to the Appomattox River.
Great. Thank you, Sid. We'll bring back our slides. I want to thank Heather and John Barrar for putting that video together. John Barrar, a longtime supporter. One before, Sid, if you would, the map. I hope everybody recognized one of their favorite spots in that video and maybe saw one that they'd like to visit anew. So this map is a map of basically the area you just saw in video, and lists our 6 jurisdictions along the 25-mile Appomattox River corridor, as the video said, that travels west to east or left to right on the map from Lake Chesdin to the James River, beautiful big James River. I'll just note that in addition to the 6 jurisdictions, we also have several large federal and state institutions, including the Fort Lee Military Army Base, National Park Service, and of course, Virginia State University. Next slide, please. So I noted earlier that one of the vital keys to FOLAR's success is our strong leadership. FOLAR maintains representation on its board of directors from each of the 6 area jurisdictions. One is appointed by the jurisdiction and one is elected by the other board members to serve as community representatives. You see them all listed here. We also have representation from some of our partner organizations, as well as at-large community representation. I want to say too that every one of these leaders is also subject matter experts and brings significant knowledge and sharing to our operation. We are so appreciative of their expertise and time. I also want to say that our staff, we've grown from our all volunteer start more than 20 years ago, now to 3 full-time staff and part-time staff. We have, in addition to Heather and I, Virginia Peavy is our communications and development director. And then Elise Neuscheller is our environmental stewardship coordinator. We've been doing a lot more work in that area. So we're thrilled to keep moving along. Next slide, Tim. Great, thanks. So we had a big year. One of our major accomplishments was that in 2022 was that we conducted and completed regional strategic planning to help us better understand issues and priorities of our community, as well as more clearly defining our work and also engaging our stakeholders and partners. We were able to conduct this extensive planning through support from the Virginia Outdoor Foundation, as well as Virginia United Land Trust. We're very appreciative of those partners. Next slide. Great. So our planning and interaction with stakeholders reinforced this role of FOLAR in the region. You see here as a convener and coordinator of our partners, and then also helping with education and advocacy for our river, and then as implementer. And again, really taking a regional approach and connecting everyone along the river. We developed, you see, about 4 major strategic goals that will help guide us through the next 3 to 5 years to achieve our vision of the future, which is, you see here, a welcoming blueway greenway of extraordinary beauty and cultural richness that forever connects nature, people, and our vibrant communities. So our goals, you see, focus on conserving and developing the trail and park system and blueway greenway, engaging our community, you all, and our residents in recreation and stewardship of the river, and leading advocacy and philanthropy for the blueway greenway, and then of course finally investing and continuing to strengthen the organization so we can continue this work. So we have a plan for the future, and we are excited to begin that work. Let's see, I think, were we going to do our...
Yes.
We were going to introduce something new today.
Right. So, hey, good morning, everyone. Good to be here. This year we thought we'd add a little bit of FOLAR trivia and FOLAR Appomattox River facts. So we have a few polls for you today. So before Wendy goes on and talks more about accomplishments, we want to test your knowledge. So we have our first poll. We want to see in 2022, do you know which trail won the Governor's Environmental Excellence Award? So go ahead and give us your answers, and we will see if you guys know which trail won this award in 2022. I'll give you a couple more seconds. Looks like people are still answering. I don't know. I'm seeing the results coming in. It's looking close. Kind of a trick question.
Yes, great to see.
Okay, I think, is everyone done? Go ahead and get your answer in. I am going to end the poll. And like I said, this was a trick question. So here is the results. So everyone thought in 2022 that the VSU Appomattox River Overlook won the award, and you're close. They did win the award in 2019. Hopewell Riverwalk won the award in 2020, but University Boulevard in Petersburg is the trail that won the award in 2022. So we are so proud that so many of our partners have won the Governor's Environmental Excellence Award on the river, and but it was Petersburg who won last year. So I'm going to hand it back to Wendy, and we will keep on going with the program.
Thanks, Heather. And we look forward to adding more sites to that list, making that a long list of award-winning sites. Next slide, please, Lynn. Thank you. So in addition to the strategic planning, 2022 was another big year for us, a very fruitful year. I hope many of you have received and saw this long list. I believe it's also on our website, FOLAR-VA.org. We had many accomplishments, from resuming a number of our signature events, as will continue this year, the 5K trail run, to a number of river cleanups, to a huge and fun paddler battle in the fall along the river that included a great partnership with Trapezium Brewery for a special beer release. As well as our work to plan and inform and conserve land and create beautiful and accessible parks and trail infrastructure. So we've been staying busy, and again, all with the help of our partners and our community. Next slide, please. So in addition to all of that, I want to note what we feel is one of our greatest achievements of 2022 was completing the Cabell Foundation Challenge Grant, a $500,000 challenge grant from the Cabell Foundation. FOLAR successfully raised the matching $500,000 with, of course, significant help and support by the Cameron Foundation, $1 million grant to FOLAR, along with several other significant investors, including our local John Randolph Foundation, also the Community Foundation for Greater Richmond, and just so many individuals and businesses and government supporters helped us through the 2-year effort. So we are, again, so appreciative. And so in addition to that funding, the Cameron Foundation has also separately invested funds toward the development of concept plans for an amazing new connector across the river, the Appomattox River Connector. And that brings us to more really than $2.3 million in startup funds, all meant to be invested in our community to help build out build out and transform really the western entrance to the entire 25-mile Appomattox River Trail and Park system. It will be amazing. It's the western side includes Chesterfield, Dinwiddie, and Petersburg, a strong partnership there. And the funds will be invested. The project really focuses on 3 parts: improving the park there, improving the trail, and improving and adding this amazing river connector. I'm going to hand it over to Heather now to give you some more details on all of our work along the river. Is that right?
I think you got a couple
Oh,
more slides.
I'm sorry. I got ahead of myself. In a minute, I'll hand it over to Heather for all those details. Missed that quick phrase. Next slide, Sid. I do want to mention that we want to be sure that everybody gets out on the trail. That as we're building it, we are continuing to offer a number of our events to, again, for recreation and stewardship. You see, we've added a number of what we're calling Stewardship Saturdays monthly. We invite you to come out with everyone and help remove invasive plants and clean up and just improve along the riverfront. And then again, we do have all the other events through the years. This again is found on our website. Next slide. I did want to just point out one specific event that has moved this year. Our Outstanding Community Service Awards presentation is going to be on June 1st. We are moving it to a lovely time of year. We had it at the end. We've had it at the end of the winter for many years, but we thought we'd try to do it in the nice weather, get outdoors along the river somewhere. So all of that to be announced soon. Stay tuned. We look forward to honoring our significant volunteers who help us move things forward. Okay, now with that, Heather's gonna give you more detail on our efforts along the trail, but she may have one fun thing first.
One poll before we get into that. So since you will be coming to that event on June 1st, you may be drinking a local beer. So we want to, we have lots of partnerships, big and small. And one of our most fun partnerships last year was with Trapezium, a local brewery in Petersburg, and they launched a new beer in honor of Paddle Battle. And so we want to know if you know the name of that beer that is named in honor of the Appomattox River. Everyone's starting to answer. Thank you. It has a great, beautiful local label too, local artist who did the label. So we want to make sure you go and pick up your, they come in 4-packs. Okay, everyone's still answering. And maybe we have some new names for Trapezium for a beer because it looks like everyone's answered. And I'm going to share the results. Upstream Culch is the right answer. Everyone mostly got that right, but it looks like people like Tri-City Triple Hop. So maybe we'll tell Trapezium about that, and that could be a new beer name. So thank you guys so much for that fun poll. We do have one more later on, but we are going to go ahead and move forward, Sid, back with that next slide. And I will share with you a little bit about our programming. And then we'll move into actual, kind of the trail on the ground, what's happening. So Wendy introduced Elise. Last year during State of the Trail, if you remember, we were actually announcing this position. And so we have hired Elise, and she is starting this program. We are so excited about our partnership with the Virginia Department of Forestry for funding this program. As we build this trail that we want to bike on and paddle on, protecting the natural resource is the most important part of our work, right? We can't have a great trail if we don't have a great, healthy forest. So removing invasive species is one of the best ways to improve our forest health, improve habitat for animals and bugs and plants. But it takes a lot of work, and removing invasive takes a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of manpower. So we have started this new program. This next year, we're going to expand the program. This last year, we focused on one site in Petersburg. We're going to expand the program in 2023. We'll be working with a consultant to produce a new invasive plant management plan for the entire Appomattox River, all the public land on the river. Really excited to get that data, share it with the localities, and come up with a strategy of how we can all work together to start removing invasives on a bigger scale in our region. It's going to take all of us working together. We're talking with the James River Park System. They have a great model, and we're really excited to have that model come to the Tri-Cities and really be one of the leaders in the state on this work. So thank you to Elise. This picture is a great picture that shows that we're not only improving the natural environment, but we have some great historic assets that we need to take care of too. And so the invasive work also helps maintain and improve the those historic assets. So we hope you come out to a Stewardship Saturday and get involved in this program. Next slide, Sid. We did want to just show off quickly, this is just volunteer data. Just since Elise started last spring, we've had over 1,000 hours and over 250 volunteers come out and volunteer. And they're picking up trash, they're planting new natives, they're gathering seeds, they're removing invasives. So, really making the trail more enjoyable for all of us to be on in a better environment. So really awesome program, really happy that we can start focusing on this with a whole staff person to focus on this effort. So excited about that. The next slide is another program that we started a few years ago, and that's our Trail Count program. We started that in partnership with the Crater Health District. They purchased the same trail counter system that Chesterfield County uses on the North Bank. And so we are really excited that this is our, I think, 4th year of data that we've collected. And you can see we have a whole report coming out soon that will really detail each site we collect data on. But you can see that the Riverwalk and Rosalind Landing Park continue to be our number 1 and 2 sites for the most people out on the trail. But you can see that Ferndale Park and now University Boulevard are really kind of vying for spot number 3. And that data is really starting to show us as we improve sites like we did at University Boulevard, our usage is going up and people are getting out when it's paved, when there's more amenities, when there's good parking, when there's a porta potty. That just gets more people feeling good to be out on the trail. So thank you. We have a pair of volunteers who are so dedicated to this program. They collect the data in the field, they crunch the numbers behind the scenes, and we really couldn't do this without our volunteers and our board members. So thank you for that, and be looking for this report. I will email this report out when it is done. So let's go to the next slide, and we'll kind of transition to talking about the trail itself. And I show you this slide every year. This is the foundation of our work, the Appomattox River Trail Master Plan and Sign Plan. It was funded by the Cameron Foundation, and we completed that in 2017. It is the foundation for our work and lays out the general route of the 25-mile trail through all 6 localities. It's been adopted by all 6 localities and all major partners like VSU and National Park Service. It's found online. So if you ever need to look at it, it is on our website. You can look at the maps, you can look at the sign plan, and this has been incorporated into everyone's comprehensive plans. So really great work at the regional level, having one plan that's really guiding all of us building this trail together. Next slide. But the planning doesn't stop there. As you know, that's just a big, groundwork plan. We have to have more detailed plans to get us to actual construction. So I wanted to share with you in 2022, 2 plans that we have completed or just about to complete. I'm going to share details on those. And then in 2023, we have a new plan coming in Prince George. We're going to be working with Prince George County and American Water Foundation to really improve the entrance and signage and parking at the Appomattox River Regional Park. So we're just about to kick off that project and hope to bring you those plans next year and maybe even some construction by next year for that park. But let's take a quick look at the next slide and take a look at the master plan for Ferndale Park. This is a park located in Dinwiddie County, just south of Matoaka, just across the bridge from Matoaka. And it's been a park since 1900, if you can believe that. People used to take the trolley from Petersburg. They took a ferry from Chesterfield County. And this was really the park that people in the city went to get away from the city. in the 1900s. And this park has a great footprint, and you can see our master plan really just builds upon that footprint. We did community outreach and asked the community what they wanted to see, what kind of recreational assets we needed. And really, we are just kind of opening up the park and making it a little more visible, giving it a loop trail around the entire park to really open up the park and give it eyes on the whole park. And then this will connect to the main Appomattox River Trail. And there's 2 miles of Appomattox River Trail included in this master plan. And that part of the trail will have some interesting amenities like a picnic area, or here you see detailed at the end of the canal, where the canal meets the river, we will be improving how kayakers can use that canal and river connection and have some new amenities for kayakers down there. So as Wendy mentioned, we have some great fundraising started for this planning effort. Our master plan has detailed a phasing plan, so we really have some steps in place in how we can start improving this with our partners. The next slide goes into the Appomattox River Connector that Wendy also mentioned. This is also a project with the Cameron Foundation, Chesterfield County and Dinwiddie County. And you can see it's not just a typical bridge connecting the North Bank and the South Bank. It really is a park over the river. And it's going to mimic the braided river. You can see it has many different pieces. And you can see that it's going to have some space to stop and actually enjoy the river. So you can certainly bike or walk across, but we're going to have some shady spots. We're going to have seating. We're going to have areas that you can just kind of stop and really reflect on the river and enjoy the river while you're out in the middle of it. These conceptual plans will be wrapping up pretty soon, and we hope to have those plans out to the community. Next slide shows you really what this beautiful area looks like. That's the abutment dam that was labeled in the map, and if you're familiar with it, the connector will be just below the abutment dam. So really, it's a really interesting site that has these man-made features, but also just has this wild and nature feel. So we're really excited to work with our partners and bring this new asset to the region that's going to be really unique and really just really a destination, we hope. Okay, so that was our plans for the year. So plans are really important, and that leads to our next arm of our work is land conservation. So the plans kind of help us, know where we need to go, and then we also start to conserve land in perpetuity for everyone to use into the future. And we could not do that without our partners. All of our land conservation this year was led by partners. Capital Region Land Conservancy acquired 40 acres in Chesterfield, Colonial Heights, and Petersburg, all along the river or islands. And then Chesterfield County expanded the existing Radcliffe Conservation Area by 74 acres. So 114 new acres brings us to 899 acres protected on the Appomattox River. We're really proud of that number, and really proud to protect the watershed, protect views from the river and views across the river, and really protect water quality. So we do have one parcel under contract this year, and hope to be making that announcement soon. And we will continue to work with our partners and localities to identify new areas to protect and keep on doing that work too. So our next slide is talking about miles on the ground. So in 2022, we did not improve any miles, but in 2023, we have 4 new miles of trails or bike lanes coming. In Colonial Heights, they're going to be extending their trail from Roslyn Landing to the east up to Jennick Road. We hope that project's going out for bid this year. So if you're in Colonial Heights, you're going to get about half a mile more walking trail to extend your walk. And in Hopewell, I have not seen yet, but I've heard their whole bike lane network is actually under construction. So I list 3.5 miles here on this slide, and that is just the route of the Appomattox River Trail. The city of Hopewell is putting in many more miles than that. We are so excited to see a bike work unfold and across the entire city. And we are so happy that part of the Appomattox River Trail is on that new bike lane route. And then also, we've all been anticipating that the Riverwalk will be extended, and part of that project will be starting in Hopewell this year. The Riverwalk will extend a little bit past its current endpoint. So lots of good stuff coming in 2023. Next slide, Sid, thank you. So I also want to mention a partner project that is very integral to the region and connecting our region to the Richmond region. And that's the Fall Line Trail. I'm sure all of you have heard about the Fall Line. It's a 42-mile trail from Ashland to Petersburg. And we are so excited that the 8-mile section from Petersburg and Patton Park all the way to Chester is funded. We think that will be going out to design bid this summer, and we might see some construction starting by 2024. So the Appomattox River Trail is, goes east-west, and this trail will go north-south, and we'll make that intersection right in Patton Park and Petersburg. And then the Appomattox Trail will take folks into Old Town from the Fall Line. So a really, really good project. We've been at the table. So excited to be part of this regional project. And this will also connect us to the Capitol Trail as well. You could take the Fall Line up to the Capitol Trail. So really, really great to make this big regional network of trails. Next slide, Sid. And then I wanted to just end our update really by talking a little bit about the funding that is out there. And we certainly aren't listing everything. Our localities have been so successful in transportation dollars, TAP and CMAC. And as Wendy mentioned, we're getting private dollars at the table. But I did want to mention Smart Scale Round 5. We partnered with localities, the MPO, the Planning District Commission, and had all these applications have been in the staff recommendation to go to the CTB for a vote this June. So we want to just encourage you to keep up with this. There will be a public hearing coming up this spring. FOLAR will certainly be there, hoping to keep these projects in that budget. This is Colonial Heights, Petersburg, and Hopewell, and all of our projects are interacting with the Fall Line Trail as well. So we are really pleased to all work together and partner together to bring these applications forward. And we're hoping for a good outcome with that final vote. I think that is the end of my official update. We have time, certainly we have time. We have a little bit more to share with you, but certainly we have time for conversation and questions. We did not do a webinar. We did this mode, so you guys can unmute and we can chat if we want. Everyone has any questions, or we can wrap up. If no one has questions, we do have a few more things to share with you, but we wanted to give you a minute to ask any questions or make any comments, or you can put it in the chat. Okay, I'm seeing just seeing some, fun emojis in the chat.
Hey, thanks everyone. Again, everybody on has supported this effort. Great stories around that.
Okay. I can do another poll if you guys want another poll.
Uh-oh, she's threatening.
Okay. How about we do one more poll? You guys can think if there's anything else you want to talk about today.
You've got each other. You've got each other on here too, so you can cross.
That's right. We have, I think, all the localities are on. VSU is on. VDOT, all of our partners. So thank you guys for coming. And we will send out a list of kind of who was on, so you guys can get an idea of who was here. So we have one more poll. Let me get that up for you. So if you were paying attention, then this one shouldn't be too hard. But kind of talking about our trail data. We want to see if you know which trail had the most steps last year. It is interesting to see this data kind of stay fairly consistent. But like I said, we are seeing a little bit of change at some of our parks. Okay, it looks like everyone took the poll and everyone was correct. That Hopewell River Walk was the trail with the most steps last year. Interesting when you think about the Hopewell River Walk is only 1/3 of a mile long. So we have a lot of folks who use that though. They actually make laps back and forth on the Riverwalk. I have a great story of someone who I met at the Riverwalk who she was in a car accident and her doctor told her she needed to walk to recover, and she chose the Riverwalk because she felt safe and there were benches on it. And when she first started going, she could only get to the first bench and she could only get to the next bench. And by the end, you know, she was able to walk the Riverwalk several times. But just great stories like that from our community about why these assets are so important to them in their daily lives. Okay, so with that, I have one more slide to talk about trails for you guys. So Sid wants to pull up the last slide. That would be great. I want to make sure you guys know. We'll go to the slide with the map next to the last slide, Sid. Yes, so we want to just remind you that we have this great interactive map on our website. It has the detail for every single park on the river. It tells a little description of the park, all the different assets at the park. It also shows where the trail is. It shows in these yellow diamonds for paddlers, it shows where all the paddling impediments are, where the rapids and the dam is. It's a really great resource. It also has a button. If you are out on the trail, you can hit the geolocate button and see exactly where you are on the trail. So that's a nice feature. Or if you're maybe out shopping or running errands, you can hit that geolocate button and see if you have a trail close to you. We added this new button on the website. You can see at the top, the red arrow pointing to it. We added a new trail map button to the website. So it's really easy for you to find when you're out in the field. And then finally, I just want to say thank you that this was made by a volunteer. I think that's just the amazing part of this story is that this was all a volunteer effort. And we are so thankful for that. But you can use these tabs. We also have private marinas on this website. And we have a few things up in Lake Chesden as well, the campgrounds in that area. So it's just a good resource. It brings everyone's data from the entire region to one place. So if you're planning a paddling trip or a day trip, you can just go to one site instead of having to check all 6 different locality websites. We do keep this up to date and have everyone look at it about once every year or two. So please, if you see anything, let us know and we will definitely get that up to date for you. But I think this has been a really fun resource to have, and happy to add to it if you guys have any suggestions on how to make that better. I think I'm going to hand it back to Wendy.
Great. And I'll just add, thank you, Heather, that the platform for the map is also a partnership and contribution by the Chesterfield County GIS group.
Yes,
is that right?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
And it is available on your mobile, so you can walk anywhere and know where you are and figure out your route. So we love this map, and you will too. Get it on your phone. Great. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, everyone, so much. That completes our update here. You can tell it's a complex, complicated, amazing project that we are all passionate about. We've, 5 years update, and if you're counting, really, it's probably 23 years. I saw Richard Taylor on, one of our founding members. But we are still probably not quite halfway there to completing our full trail as we plan it to be fully accessible for all ages, all abilities, all people. So we still have work to do. Stick with us, please. come out and enjoy. You see, we already have hundreds of thousands of steps along our trail. Just imagine what it will be when we have all 25 miles available to bike and walk and get from work to home and back and forth. So we know trails transform communities. We've seen it across the nation, across the world, really. And we feel our time is now. So stay with us, keep supporting us. We'd love to hear more from you about how we can do more, better. So thank you so much to everyone, and especially again, Plan RVA, thanks for your help in putting this together and putting it on.
So Luke had a question, if any of this information will be on the website. And yes, this we'll actually have the video on our YouTube channel. So this whole presentation will be available later on YouTube. The video is on YouTube as a standalone video. And then, as I mentioned, we will have a trail count report coming out soon that will be standalone. And then this presentation will be up. So yeah, so if you need anything specific, let us know, but this presentation will be up later to share.
Great. Well, with that, thank you again, everyone. We're excited to continue this year, all this great work, and into the future.
We'll see you at the 5K. That's our next event.
Right. Come on out and run the trail.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.